application today for an injunction that would bar protesters from blocking the Ambassador Bridge border crossing in Windsor.
We need to appreciate that these demonstrators are our fellow Canadians and that they have a fundamental right to their views and their opinions. They don't have the right to affect you or your family's ability to earn a living, and they've gone too far.
Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins says every day the border crossing is closed, there's a $400 million impact on the economy. If the request is granted, he says the city will work with police to enforce the injunction. Protesters, as we understand it, have now cleared one lane for Canada-bound traffic from the Ambassador Bridge. Let's go there now. Sijia Liu is standing by with more. What more can you tell us about this one lane of traffic now open going into Canada?
Hi, Marcia. It's a very good sign. I spoke with some protesters who say this is a sign of good faith that they want to show by opening this one lane. Take a look at the lane that's open behind this flag right here. For the first time in 5 days, this southbound traffic lane has reopened for those traveling into Canada. However, we haven't seen any cars yet. That's because border officials have not opened up the actual Ambassador Bridge, but this is a good sign. We do know that the city has an injunction hearing coming up very soon here, but we are already seeing some progress from protesters that they are willing to negotiate and show some signs of good faith.
So if the injunction is granted, what does that mean?
That means the city and the police will have more powers to move these protesters out of the way. For the most part, these protesters are very passionate about what they are doing. Police have just been standing and watching. They've only issued one arrest so far. So if this injunction is passed, police say they are ready to take action and maybe come in here and enforce some more of the laws that they are breaking.
And we just heard Sijia from Ontario Premier Doug Ford saying that the province was now under a state of emergency. Police are going to have more power to move people out. Have any of the protesters where you are responded to what we've just heard from Doug Ford?
To be honest, they don't seem fazed at all by the emergency order. The protesters that I spoke to say it's unnecessary and that it doesn't matter. They are going to be here for the long haul. So it doesn't seem like they're fazed by what's happening, but we will see what happens when police and more manpower actually show up. But it's interesting because this single lane did open around the time of the Doug Ford announcement, so I'm not too sure if those two are correlated, if they are showing that sign of good faith just in time for the state of emergency.
Sijia Liu, thanks so much. So, recapping our breaking news this morning, Ontario is under a state of emergency. The Premier declaring the state of emergency amid the ongoing protests and blockades in several cities, including Ottawa and Windsor. The new emergency measures will allow stiffer penalties against protesters blocking the border. Premier Doug Ford announcing those could include fines of up to $100,000 and up to a year behind bars. We'll be right back.